Hello and welcome to the Sands of Time review channel. It is your host Sammy Thunder here today. Today I'm here to talk about Watches and Wonders. This is the Watch Express and I welcome you on board the Watch Express. We are going through Watches and Wonders, all the new releases. Well, not all of them, just some of them, because there are way too many releases out there from Rolex to go through and the other brands. So I'm just going to go through specific releases that I find interesting for myself. So let's get right into it. We're going with the first brand here. We're going with the Rolex, going with the Crown. So first thing is the 1908 by Rolex. Now, look, I just see this as the reissue of the Cellini dress watch from the brand Rolex. Comes in all precious metals, enamel dial, applied indices. It's great to see, and you've got this kind of unique handset. Look, I think it'll still get the Cellini treatment. One good thing is you at least get to see the horology behind the movement, and I think it's well finished for the price point. I mean, not for the price point. I think it's well finished, comparable to, I'd say, an entry-level JLC movement. Maybe a bit better. Look, I'm not really too sure on that, but it's great to see that you can see an open case back with the display of the horology, which is great move from the brand and definitely a step up from the existing Cellini. Multiple releases of this 1908, comes in a white gold, yellow gold variations, so you know, cool to see. 31,000 Australian dollars. Personally speaking, I'm not putting my money into it. I don't have the luxury to do that, number one. Number two, I think my money goes well spent on JLC, personally. Next, yes, there's been a new release of the Daytona, and there are many variants of the Daytona. I'm not going to go through these, but what I really appreciate from this brand is it delving into new materials, and that's titanium, and that's in the Yachtmaster 42. Love the design of this watch. Use the ceramic on the bezel, ceramic insert. It's titanium, Rolex titanium. I think the price is reasonable for the Yachtmaster from Rolex. Bezel, I really like this sandblasted kind of matte finish, and that it's got this very highly polished indices. Typical Rolex Yachtmaster characteristics, but it really feels like a tool watch when you got this matte black dial there instead of using the gloss black you see with the Submariner. So I really appreciate that. And then the lightweightness from the titanium. I really like to hold this watch in the hand, experience it. And if there was a Rolex release, if I had the chance of getting a new Rolex release, I think this here would be one of my number one contenders. So that's the Yachtmaster 42. I really like it. Next, I think this new GMT Master 2 here, yellow gold, center links with this Jubilee, and then ceramic bezel, half black, half grey. I mean, it looks good. Can't complain. Not much to say. Just it's a GMT Master 2. It's one of my favourite Rolex models. One of the models I probably will never get in my entire life. But anyway, there's the new Skydweller. Skydweller in multiple colours. But before that, let's just go take a look at this new Oyster Perpetual. Not really sure what this is, what it's meant to commemorate. I haven't really put the effort into understanding that. $9,000. What's going to be funny is me opening the forums up and seeing this sell for $40,000. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I mean, yeah, it's an Oyster Perpetual, typical, but man, not sure what to say when I see this sell for 3 times or 4 times its price. It's just crazy nowadays. Again, new Daytona releases, and sorry guys, I'm not going through everything, but I'll slowly go through this page because there are too many releases and it's just hard to talk about everything here. Explorer 40, this is something very interesting for me. If I had the chance of getting a modern day Rolex, something feasible, if I could walk into a Rolex store and buy something, I would try and get the Explorer 40 here. Exact size I want it. I mean, it's an Explorer in 40 mils. Not much more I can say there. And this new color, this new Ever Rose Gold, I mean, it's very pinkish. Or I don't know the color, it's more reddish pink. Similar to this G-Shock I viewed, a Full Metal G-Shock in terms of color. But it's kind of cool that they've done that, that color there. But, all sorts of precious metals. You got the Date 8 releases, new Date Just, Sky Dweller. Really, there's a whole bunch of releases out here from Rolex. I really like this new GMT Master 2 Full Gold. If I could get a baller piece, it would be that one there. But Sky Dweller's a goated piece as well. I mean, the amount of functionality you get in the watch. You can annual calendar, GMT function, telling 2 time zones. It's great, right? And this is what we're going through today, so won't go through all of it, but I mean, look at the amount of releases you see here from Rolex. Quite a lot of cool watches out there, from the brand. So I'm I really like, they've done a whole kind of addition. This is a proper expansion to the Rolex catalog. So I'm satisfied with the releases from Rolex. I'd like to see those prices on the secondary. It'll be very interesting, especially the flippers, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's Rolex. Let's get right into Tudor though. Tudor, the little brother or cousin or sister of Rolex. This is what we have here. We've got a plethora of releases from the brand here. Not as much as Rolex, but let's go through it one by one. They have released this new Tudor Black Bay 41, and it looks like, there's been a bit of a price jump. So they've given you a new bracelet with the T-fit clasp, standard affair, but $6,340 now, and they failed to mention the thickness of the watch. That's something that I'm interested in knowing. I really like the design of the watch, but if the case itself is the same as the existing Black Bay, which I think it is, then you might as well just buy the existing Black Bay pre-owned and just add on this bracelet. But look, I don't know. It's not guaranteed. I don't know what's actually happening there, but that is the Black Bay release. Now we've got this new Black Bay 54. It's just a 37mm Black Bay 58. I really don't know what else I can say. For the smaller wristed, you have an option there. But, nothing really to kind of scream about. Unless you're desperate, you have a really small wrist and you wanted this watch. New Black Bay, the standard Black Bay without the bezel. Got this nice blue dial. Yeah, you get the good movement, the Kinesi Tudor movement. Nice, it's kind of like the the Oyster Perpetual in a way. With some color variations. I do like this one here. They're nice, I guess, but nothing special. For me, I'm not, if I can buy a Tudor at $6,000, I'd just try and stretch and wait for the Oyster Perpetual. But look, I don't know if you want to play the Rolex game or not. Now we have here the Black Bay GMT Polar White. I think this is a great release. I think this is a hit. Polar GMT. I think this will be a hit. I think it's a really good hit from the brand. Priced well. A typical affair. We had the Pepsi or the Diet Pepsi, and now we have some Polar. I like white dials. I really do. And I think this will be a great hit. I really love this watch. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. I do like it. Next up here we have the Tudor Royal. I know hit or miss with some people. I mean with enthusiasts, but I think there are a lot of people out there that just love this watch. Comes with this new chocolate brownie dial. I mean, it looks good. Has gold elements to it. Finishing is great. Quality is great. I mean, I'm not gonna complain, man. Like, I'm not one of those people. Yeah, it's a Franken watch of an oyster quartz. Not many people know that if you're outside of the hobby. I think it just looks good. It's an alternative to a Datejust. But look, at this flip side of things, I understand the hatred or the dislike of this watch as well. So, I'm not really a buyer. But honestly, I wouldn't mind getting this chocolate brown one, to be honest. If I'm being brutally honest, I do kind of like it. You know, I don't really dislike this watch. So, those are the new Tudor releases, and look, some of these ones with the the diamonds on the dial, I didn't really go through. They're not really interesting for me, but that's from Tudor. I mean, I think they did all right. I think Tudor did all right. I think Rolex did very well. I think Tudor did all right. I think they did well. I like this new Tudor, this Royal. I like this Black Bay GMT. I like what they did with this existing Black Bay line. Just confused on this burgundy. I thought this was some new burgundy in a 58 configuration. I mean, it's not hard to do that, right? Releasing a Tudor Black Bay 58 burgundy. That's all they had to do. But they ended up doing something a bit weird. Maybe I've not looked into this properly. Maybe I've got wrong information. Look, I don't know. Things just don't add up to me. I mean, you get a T-fit clasp, 41mm case. You're not told anything about the thickness. So I'm just confused. I'm very confused on what this is. How different this is from an existing Black Bay line of watch. So I'll just try and do my homework quickly now. Yeah, I can't tell, man. Until I see the watch in person, I really can't speculate there. Grand Seiko released a plethora of releases, typical from the brand. And look, I'll go through this in order. The new line, Tokyo Lion, high intensity titanium. I'm a big fan of the line. This is my Grail Grand Seiko. I don't think I'll be able to get one, but this is my Grail Grand Seiko. If I was able to get a Grand Seiko Grail, if I had the money, the line is my favorite. I love the case. I love the design. I love the level of finishing is superb. I mean, absolutely stunning. It's the Lion. I can't really say much about it. I mean, so good. Not going to go through that one there. But this one here, again, I don't know if this is another limited edition, but yeah, we got this nice kind of green dial. You know, features that it's the same pattern you get on the winter and spring and the Sea of Clouds. I like this watch. I actually really like this GMT watch, this configuration from Grand Seiko. I think Grand Seiko do amazing GMT design. I appreciate that from the brand, and I think this is one of them. If you like this green color, you know, there's something for you. Now we have a plethora of new releases for the 44GS high beat movements, and these feature ever brilliant steel. These are not stainless steel designs, and I think these are up revisions of existing Grand Seiko models that that were pretty much the same thing. So the existing Mount Iwate, for example. So they released one here, clean, no GMT high beat movement, Mount Iwate dial. Nice. Again, here we have a high beat, automatic. We got this nice black dial, no GMT. And now we go back into the same catalog, which we had an existing release for. Mount Iwate, GMT, we've got that. Similar thing here, black dial, GMT, yellow GMT hand. And then here, this watch here, I don't know what the exact model, I think it's the SBGJ267 here. I actually own the SBGJ235, which is a boutique only edition of, it's exactly the same watch. I think these new watches have a reduced thickness, and that's speculation only, but it's ever brilliant steel, reduced thickness. I have a feeling the existing models are getting discontinued. So the existing Mount Iwate, the existing boutique only SBGJ235, it doesn't make sense for that to coexist with this. And if it is, it's a major flaw in the brand. So that's something that's piqued my curiosity there. New diver, the Oshio. I mean, blue dial, ceramic bezel. I mean, we've seen the black dial version of this. You get the blue dial. Looks pretty stunning, to be honest. I like it. But that's what we have here from Grand Seiko. This watch here, I mean, I swear I've seen the exact same watch before with the gold second hand. I think it's a limited edition, but they've released this in high intensity titanium now, with the spring drive. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, some people have already pointed it out. Precious metal offering. I really like the pink dial. Similar to the spring. Maybe it's a bit more pink, I think. But man, it matches the gold beautifully. I mean, again, speaking of Grail Grand Seiko watches, if I could, I would. I'd take this in a heartbeat. And then you got this new Tentograph. This is, I believe, Grand Seiko's first look at a high beat chronograph, automatic mechanical chronograph movement here. And this is what we have here, the Tentograph. 3 sub-register layout with the in the Evolution case. Same Iwate dial that I have in my current watch. I'm very happy that I own my watch now. But yeah, a little bit of a video here to kind of go through that. Looks pretty good. I mean, same dial that I have on my existing Iwate. So it's good they're doing a lot of work on that dial. I just hope they discontinue the SBGJ235. Let's go. Other releases that I found interesting. Tag Heuer. I mean, they released a solid gold variation of the Aqua Racer. Look, yeah, I don't know the price, but it's a cool move from them. IWC Ingenua titanium. Nice kind of Genta style watch. I do like the design in titanium. Kind of looks a bit darker, which is to be expected from the material. Oris, I don't know why you waited for Watches and Wonders to release this. I think this watch here, this Caliber 400 Pro Pilot X, is a missed opportunity for the brand. Things just don't make sense. I mean, I really thought this was a solid kind of functional tool watch, you know, meant to be associated to pilot. You know, the clasp of the watch is amazing. The case of the watch is amazing. They could have done so much with the dial. I mean, it's a cool watch if you like a funky release, but not in the market for this, unfortunately. I have a swatch to get. I would rather purchase many other swatches out there than buy this. Unfortunately, that is just how I see it. Some of you may like it, it's good, but it's just a joke. It's just a joke to have just seen this watch release. But that's honestly what I wanted to go through, just very quickly. Just a little bit of an opener to the Watches and Wonders, and I hope you find the information you need for Watches and Wonders. Any of the new releases, let me know in the comments down below what you think of these new releases, your thoughts. It's the sands of time. Peace.